Oh my god. Okay. I don't want to think about how long that was muted. Thank you to Jedi for pinging me. Deeply appreciated. I mean, y'all got a very peaceful stream, I suppose, up to this point, assuming that that has been like that the whole time. Oh, man. Okay. Well, you know, they say sometimes streaming is, you know, you can feel like you're talking to yourself. And it turns out sometimes you are, if you're not careful about your mic settings. Man, oh man. Well, I guess, you know, I'm going to look on the bright side here. We are ahead. Thanks again, buddy. We are ahead 1-0 in this series. We are a little behind at this particular series, but not in any way we can't come back from, I think. So let's see. What's the best thing we can do? I think guaranteeing first tower is actually like surprisingly important right now. I hate to use it on like an outer tower like this, but I think getting that extra gold, that goes from being behind to being in the lead, and for us that is substantial. I also think I'm willing to put our boy Kid in a bit of a weird spot if it means that he gets the gold that he needs to start popping off. But yeah, I mean, those of you who have been here and just enjoyed a little bit of a silent stream, hopefully you enjoyed the vibes that this game brings to the background. You know, it was a very clean game one. It was the cleanest game one that we've had so far during this hell difficulty journey. And now I think we're in a good spot, all things considered. Now, what can we do? What can we do? I think Furious Charge. Probably want to charge down to bot lane, but I also feel like this is one of those, like, maybe we just scale a little bit, right? Maybe we scale there. Plan B. Like, we could Furious Charge, try to deal some damage in top lane, but I don't actually think that does a lot for us right now. Maybe you Furious Charge just to get Kamaitachi away, but we don't actually have the ability to do that yet. Let's rethink, see what we can get. See if there's anything for 4 or for 3, I guess. Who do we need to get more gold? Oh, Niels for sure. Come on, Niels. We got to get you that stealth dagger. This is the downside of the item order change that we made. So now he doesn't have the healing in the early fight quite yet. But he's about to become very difficult, if not impossible, to hit early on. And since we already got first tower, I don't mind if we lose that tower a little bit. We have the item now. Charon, we're hoping can stack up with that pocket knife once we start getting some more team-wide fights. And this time I feel a lot better about the fight. Last time, obviously, I think Justice being low had a huge part of it. We're still going to have to deal with the fact that Bart does reflect a lot of damage, and that's going to remain true. I also don't like the amount of shielding that Aurelio is bringing into this fight. Already a lot of flame damage, but the goal here, obviously, if we can wear her down, use the Justice execute accordingly, I think that'll go a long way for us. Charon's a lot of free damage because that magic damage does not proc the reflect the same way for Bart, which is great. It is a shame that the hybrid does. I guess, I mean, it is counted physical, right? So it makes sense. I was just hoping, because theoretically it would also count as magical. I thought it maybe be a little bit of an exception. We've got quite a lot of misses right now that are not helping my case of this being an okay fight for us to take. At this point, we really want to just hit Pinangju, get the execute. We're keeping Hakuna alive for now. Okay, there's one kill on Pinangju. Hakuna's going to die the next time he is hit or deals damage to Bart, which is how that went down. Okay. Yeah, Aurelio scaled up. Aurelio is getting scary. That's our second lost Herald here, which is not ideal. Bart is going to make that very difficult, given he has the metal fatigue. He can basically one-shot this mid tower if he wants to, but instead, now he takes top tower. I cannot always understand the computer's machinations, but it do be that way sometimes. Let's see, they're going to rethink. Okay, cool. Obviously we're not going to surprise Assault without anybody else there. So I think we hot hands and we hot hands. We let Neil continue to scale, and we'll kind of go on from there. Obviously Kid, if he dies, is going to give them a ton of gold, so we really need to keep him safe and sound as much as possible. We're seeing Kamaitachi go back. You know, these early team fights, right? They haven't looked great for us, but that's largely been because they haven't actually been full team fights, right? They've been kind of aggressive 3v3s, but they have not been 5v5s. And I think what we're going to do here is bring Niels back. And let's do, after a smite here for some extra damage, let's do one of those 5v5s. Let's see where we're at. Because I do think we do better as a 5v5 than we do as a 3v3 by a substantial margin. Mostly because we really inhibit Bart's ability to pop off. And when we pick someone like Aurelio to be the target here of this Kid ability, we can deal a lot of bonus damage through attacks very quickly. You can see, thanks to the Stealth Dagger, Neil's doing a lot of damage very early on. Now we could really, if Justice can get one more hit going, we're going to be able to get an execute at the very least. We're not going to need it on her, which means we can execute Gang. That's 2 kills. And this is why our plan works. It's a lot of damage that Niels is putting out that doesn't get reflected by Bart. Can use the AoE on everybody. And just getting those extra kills, ultimately the goal here, not even to, this wasn't trying to win a the full team wipe. It's only going to be 4 rounds. But what it does is it gives us plunder, which means that's going down. It means this is almost certainly going down. And it means that if we're looking at items, looking at our breakpoints here, Niels is very close to getting his Vampire Fangs. And those Vampire Fangs are massive, right? If he can get those Vampire Fangs, that is his attack damage turning into a shield. Shielding prevents you from being stunned. And if he's not stunned, that means his massive damage AoE attack is happening every turn. Which it turns out is pretty good. So, wow, I mean, if they're spending 4 for a hot hands on the Kamaitachi, I feel like we're doing well in this world. Obviously, but a very back and forth game. This game is nowhere near as clean as Game 1 was, but most games aren't going to be. This is hell difficulty, right? The fact that we had a clean game at all, the fact that our players are now finally at a point where they are better than the other team's players is huge. Now, unfortunately, the conductor ability, both teams have it, which means Blue is going to get to go first. They are going to be able to prep for this fight first. I am glad at least that Niels is back at base. He's not... Where's Niels? Oh, yeah, he has it. He just got the item, didn't he? Okay, that's great. That means we can spend our gold on Charon, right? Because he does have it, right? That is lit up. I'm not crazy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If he does have it, which means that we can piggy bank onto. Actually, let's piggy bank here onto Charon. That gets us the stealth dagger. That's great. I think I'm just going to piggy bank on a Niels just in case, because I'm not losing the game because I can't read colors properly. That seems like a terrible way to go out. I'm going to put this on Bart. An extra 1,000 damage seems good. Let's do a free Justice Slash on here. Misses, that's fine. And then let's try to end the game. Hakuna is low, but Kamaitachi's had better days, and we have the buffs, I think, in our favor. The items certainly in our favor. I think a 7-round fight, even if we don't win the game here, I think does a lot for us in terms of setting up future fights in an advantageous way for us. We didn't quite get the full-on proc that I was looking for with Niels. It looks like the healing, he obviously does have it, but he took enough damage. These 5% rolls going against us here, unfortunately, but that's okay. As long as we can get some good damage from him on the back side of things, I'll be okay with it. We just need to make sure our damage dealing is in a good spot. That's Bart down. That's huge. That's a lot of reflect damage we no longer have to worry about. And we're going to get some free attacks onto Kamaitachi. That's going to kill him. Kamaitachi really bad into Kid because Kid gets those free attacks whenever he's targeted. If Kamaitachi ever attacks wrong, and with multiple attacks, he's likely to attack wrong regularly. Charon is going to keep Hakuna alive. That's huge. That is a full team ace. That is a Game 2 victory for Siren's Call. We are now ahead in the series. The quarterfinals looking firmly in our grasp. And it's Kid this time. Shaybomb getting the MVP. As well she deserves. A 208 performance on Kid. I mean, we saw those last couple fights, right? In the team fights, Kid popped the fuck off. You know, some of those early Herald fights, it didn't go as cleanly as we would like. Certainly Haas gave us a lot of advantages in the first game that we didn't have here. But Justice did a great job. I think into Bart, absolutely the right call. Being able to nuke him down in that last fight was amazing. Charon, I think, you know, there were a couple of times where the proc didn't quite go the way we wanted, but overall dealt quite a bit of damage. I think if the game had gone on a little longer, Danny would have continued to pop off quite a bit. But I'm certainly glad we are removed that 40% damage share medal, because it doesn't look like our team's going to be doing that anytime soon. Also, very funny to see Penang Zhu's damage numbers as high as it is here. I think that says a lot about the current meta of the game and the ability for supports to get 100% gold share right now. Penang Zhu probably doing a lot more damage as a result of her ability to scale. But it never really felt like the huge problem. The Bart felt like a much bigger problem in terms of those constant reflections. But man, oh man, it is nice to be ahead in a series with games with an S to spare. That is quite good. I don't think either of those are good for a support. Nope, not taking those over harass rate. Armor and max HP. I guess I'll take that over farming efficiency around 50, because by the time that, you know, round 50, sometimes games are kind of over. Danny getting to expert on Niels feels great. God, Bart was really annoying. I did not enjoy playing into him there at all. I'm not going to say he's a counter to Hakuna. I don't think that would be fair. I also don't think I would say that he's at a disadvantage to Justice. I think... Yeah, I don't know. I think Charon probably a little bit weaker to long fight experts, I would imagine. Like, you're not doing much against the Aurelios of the world. but I think is pretty good into some of the AoE stuff. Like, I felt like he did well into Gang. At the very least, yeah, man. I never quite know how to fill out some of these notes, but all at the very least, I'll say that felt synergistic with Kid. I think that worked out well. And we're now 2-0 in this series, a great place to be. And in this case, I think I want to get Gillis up. I'm hoping for a critical success. There we go. Getting Gillis to a veteran gives us a huge bonus on here. Medlin, Bing Bong. Is that a Hello from the Magic Tavern reference? Or is there a different Bing Bong that I'm not aware of? Because that is very Hello from the Magic Tavern coded to me, and I do love to see it. But welcome to chat, Medlin. Great to have you here. We are in Game 3 of our quarterfinals here in this Hell's Difficulty Challenge. So you've come in at the right time, and by the right time, I mean a time where it looks like I know what I'm doing, which is always a great time as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah. Let's see here. You look at this, right? We lost to them in the regular season. We're 2-0 in playoffs. They don't have a single position where they're better than us. We still don't have quite as many fans, but that's fine. We'll win the people over with our heart and our persistence in the face of adversity. They banned Haas. Yeah, I mean, I would too. Let's get our coach notes going. I mean, I didn't like playing into Gang, but I don't think Gang's the problem. I don't think we can allow Lubos in first pick. Is that a yep to the Hello from the Magic Tavern? Or is that a yep to something else? Let's see. They banned Hakuna. Yeah, that sounds about right. Which means Peter's back up, which is great. So let's get rid of Fatty White, and let's hope we can do Niels Peter round 1. We sure can. AIT was about your channel. AIT? Oh, I imagine it. Fair enough. Let's see here. They got Justice. Okay, that is annoying. What does that mean for us, actually? Like, we could go for Mickey because there's the synergy with Niels, and I like that. I feel like Kid is something that's really good to take at this moment. I also like Bond quite a bit, but I feel like Bond will still be around. Oofa doofa. You don't want to be rude, you're here to ask me something. Okay. I am intrigued. Sure. I'm hoping this is a gameplay question, not a like businessy thing. If it is a businessy thing, you should probably ping me on my Twitter, or it's about art. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, we can talk art for sure. Oh, okay. Is this? It sounds like maybe a businessy thing. So yeah, ping me on Twitter. You've got my X should be in the description here. Chase Wassenar on X or Blue Sky. I'd rather not get lost in any sort of like art commission-y things right now. But if you're asking something different, then that, you know, by all means. But otherwise, I'd rather keep businessy stuff to social media channels, keep it in our inboxes, all that jazz. But thank you for asking. I do genuinely appreciate that. Let's see. What do we ban? I don't want to go up against Frank, but I kind of want to play Frank at this point. I'm going to ban Gang. I think Gang is really annoying here. I don't need any commissions at this time, Medellin, but thank you for asking. Shaybomb, my mid laner here, is an artist who's done a lot of stuff for me, and I'm not currently in a position to be making commissions outside of that. So, yeah, no worries, no worries. Okay, so we get to pick, and I gotta say, I like Frank here. Like, I think into Justice it's going to be a little annoying for sure. Okay, Wolfgang, that's a little annoying. Let's see, do I like... I think I like having Kid in the dragon fight, so I'm going to switch that over. I go back and forth, right? Like, Bond is a good jungler. And the damage dealt is really good against tanks, right? Like, I could see it being very valuable against tanks. But I don't think, like Aurelio, I don't know, cares about Bond. The fight card for Bond is very limited. So I don't really know. I don't really know if that's worth it. I mean, you're playing... Okay, so let's imagine it's a 3v3... Justice, Aurelio, Palulu. God, those shields are really annoying. So I think I want more actions, which means I think I want Zealot. I think this is a Zealot angle. Because Zealot gives us the 3 attacks per turn. We have Peter to absorb those early attacks, which means Zealot gets to pop off. Kid, if Zealot dies, like if Justice nukes Zealot, great. Kid gets a whole bunch of stats. I think that's worth it for us. Let's see, items. Yeah, that tracks. Yeah, I mean, for Frank, I kind of like the idea of, I guess Piggy Bank first is fine. I kind of go back and forth on that. I could totally see justifying a taunt textbook first or a Tower of Straws first, but I'm open to Piggy Bank first. I don't think that would be a negative. Cool. Gives us some versatility in terms of what we decide to scale up on, which I think is good. Let's see what we got here. Okay. I am Justice. Never like to see that. Protagonist. Never like to see that. Please don't have a Flame Assault. Doesn't look like they have a Flame Assault. Thank goodness. Okay. What can I do? What can I do? If Niels was in a healthier spot, I would consider trying to get somebody down into the bot lane. Make this more of a 3v3, but obviously I don't think a 3v3 is very good in this situation. I suppose if I were to wait a turn, Aurelio goes away. And as long as we don't push in, let's do that. Aurelio goes away. And now we're in a really interesting spot. Because we have... Oh, right. Crap. I didn't think about the fact that Adrenaline was gonna go away. Oopsie poopsie. That's on me. Yeah, that's good. We lowered that way. That at least gets us where we need to go. Gonna hyper protection. And then Shield Impact actually does bring in the Aurelio still, so I don't know why I thought that it wouldn't. Feeling a little silly. But at least I can steal their farm? Like, that's fun? Let's rethink. Let's see if we can get anything. Oh, hell yeah, we can. Okay. Adrenaline into hot hands. Still not shield impacting. But we can go for a conviction into justice and a code engage. Let's see what we can do here. 2 rounds, I doubt it'll be much, but we might be able to force her out of lane. Here we go. Okay, missed there. Did more damage to her than she did to us. That's not nothing. That does force her back. That forces their bot lane back. We now have 2 lanes that are going fully in our favor and 1 in mid that we're at a slight disadvantage of, but it is ever so slight. So I think from here we start going into the scaling of it all, right? We really want to make sure that we are playing for the long game. I know this is a team where statistically we're actually not behind compared to where we usually are, but it's not something I really want to like take for granted. Oh, again, this is one of those. Oof. I think actually, okay. Zealot's going the other way, but if Aurelio's coming down, I think I do pause. Because I think Fisticuffs is very good here. I think Fisticuffs remains very good here. And I think Assimilate, not enough damage, not enough, but certainly backs him off, which means we don't lose any pressure in lane to do that. And look at that 808 extra max HP we got for Frank. We're looking at items here. Frank is the only person to get a completed item so far. He did go for the cheapest item so far, so no surprise on that front. I think we're happy with this. They are going to have to spend their first 5 attacks on Peter, which I think for Justice is not ideal by any means. It is really going to depend on how well we can focus this Aurelio down. We do have a great, assigning Kid to her is the way to go. It is going to get us a lot of those extra attacks, especially because she is forced to attack Peter. She is going first in there, so that's a free attack. We're going to continue to get those. Zealot doing a great job of tearing through those shields. We just need to make sure we keep our energy focused. And we want to try to make sure as much as possible that they continue to attack. I mean, preferably anyone other than Kid is really the goal here, right? Like I said, I don't care if Zealot dies, because Zealot's going to pop Kid to Oblivion and beyond. So I just would like Aurelio to die. Would be cool. And we got it. Okay. That's first blood. Now it should just be focused on Justice. Ideally, she does not do a ton of damage to us. If she's attacking and missing like that, that's everything we could hope for. Obviously, if Zealot gets too low, she is going to nuke them, and the execute will be not ideal for us. But again, we've won the fight. There's no way this goes. Yeah, there we go. And great. Yeah, we weren't going to lose the fight. The question was, were we going to lose Zealot along the way? And the fact that we didn't is a really good sign for our team comp. You can see we're now 1,600 gold up. Zealot getting that huge boost of gold. Almost has his first full item now. So, feeling good about that. Zealot is also being given an opportunity here. That is a overextended Xiaogong Lei. I am getting that name right. I'm finally learning the Chinese names. It took me a while, but I am getting there. We are going to do that here. That's going to get us first tower in just a second. I really like the idea of taking all of this farm. And obviously, I think a hot hands here is good. I could have gone one over, gotten slightly less farm from them in order to attack Xiaogung Lei with the engage. Like, that would have been fine, and I don't think that would have been a problem, but I really feel like starving out that Aurelio is going to be huge, right? As long as Aurelio is behind in resources, it's going to be very difficult for her to get to the point that she's looking for. And now we're in this really interesting state, right? We have the ability to close out the game already. Should we pursue it? I'm not sure. Probably not. Sure, it's going to be a lot of energy from Flame March, and I expect the Inferno, or that was Inferno March, the Flame attack I expect to come through. Or Runic Ward, that's fine. I think the fact, like I think our composition really peaks with second items, so I'm not going to try to do much with that right now. I do want to just get some more scaling in. Amnesty onto Frank is great, actually. I forgot that Kid and Frank actually synergize well together, because you just get the... He's like, yeah, please do attack me. That would be great, if you don't mind. And then I'll end there, because I'd like to go again before the Herald fight. I'd rather guarantee that if I can. We are going to go back in that lane, which is a little bit annoying, but that's fine. It's not like our bot lane has been hindered in any meaningful way. Let's see. What can we do in this to fight the way we want? We could bring Kid down, turn this into a 2v2, but I don't know if that does much for us. I do think Hyper Protection is very good. At the very least, going to do some significant damage to Polulu, which is nice. Let's rethink. Let's see if we can draw anything. Yeah, I mean, the Piggy Bank, 475 for good old Frank. I think we probably still wait a little bit. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, like, I think we Amnesty again. Get some more gold for us both. And then I think we just hot hands. I think we're scaling. And I think we're still happy with the 3v3 that's about to go down. I think this looks great for us. And they're still going for it. I gotta say, gotta give the computer this. They're not afraid to fight us. And if you look here, they certainly have more reason to be optimistic for it, because Aurelio does have the laser sword. Everyone has a full item now. I just think our items are better than their items. And we really benefit from the Peter Kid synergy. That's one I need to mark down in the coach's notes, right? Because Peter gets the taunt down, which means that whoever Kid targets is targeting Peter, which means free attacks for Kid. That's delightful. The healing for Justice in this early round is definitely more of a pain compared to where we were before. But we are seeing that increased attack power. Only for the main one, though. That is a shame about Zealot, is that you don't get the boost from items onto the clones. Certain boosts, I should say. But that's okay. That's fine. We are trying to take Polulu down. We've actually done a surprising amount of damage to Polulu. 50% presence rate. Why is that? Oh, because she built Tower of Straws. Oh, what a horrible idea. Why would Polulu build Tower of Straws? Like, I don't think Polulu wants to get hit more, right? Like, because she's providing the shields. When you want to lower the likelihood of getting hit? What am I missing? I mean, I get like 1,000 max HP. Like, I get that. Like, that's so weird to me. I don't think that build makes sense at all. man. Man, oh, man. What a weird sequence. I do appreciate Frank's just doing his thing. He's got that 1900 bonus max HP. I just don't know what our opponent's supposed to do here, right? Like, the idea theoretically is that you're using Justice, getting those kills, getting yourself in a decent opportunity, but like, when is that happening for you? I'll tell you right now, it's not now, because we're about to take that second inner tower. Niels is too low. Gonna devour some more resources. You're just not allowed to have fun. I want it to be very clear, computer. You're not allowed to have fun. Now, do we have enough to kill Wolfgang here in 2 attacks? Probably not. What about with a third? Does this do it? It might. Yeah. It's 2 rounds, so I'm not counting on it, but it'd be funny. It would be funny, objectively. Yeah, it's a lot of damage. Did not attack Kid. That was a mistake. We did about 1,000 damage that turn. This is very doable. Yep, got it. Got it. Wolfgang not having a good time into Frank. I don't know if I want to put Frank as a counter to Wolfgang, but it's certainly a matchup I'm very comfortable with. And we are going to get to go before them, which is great. Oh, no, we won't, because we both have the conductor ability. That's okay. Have we gotten Niels to the second item yet? No, we need to get that. If we have any way of getting him there, maybe. Okay. We're trying to get Shadow Realmed. Okay. Now, the good news, Wolfgang, actually, you only steal attributes from 1, huh? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Oh, okay. So maybe Zealot is a Wolfgang counter. I think it is. Because, like, obviously you're dealing damage to all of them, but you're only nerfing the stats on 1 at a time. That I will put in the books. That's good for me to know. Now, does 375... I think that gets Niels there, right? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it sure does. Now, can we end the game? I think we definitely bring Niels back, because that's going to prevent the, taking too much damage on that front. I think we want... Oh, God. How do we get Zealot back to a good spot? Because Zealot's the only one I'm a little worried about, because Zealot can just get taken out by Justice. But even that, I'm not sure is a huge concern, because... like, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, so what? You kill Zealot and Kid pops off. That still seems good to me, you know? Like, I'll plan B, see if I can get anything. Not seeing anything right now that would be particularly great. I don't think we can get Kid far enough, but we can at least, like, poke. We could smite. Deals damage to everybody. And we can go in the final fight. So, like, I expect Zealot to go down, right? I don't expect Zealot to live this fight. But we're not playing for KDA, right? We're playing to win a playoff series, move on to the semifinals. And if that's the goal, then who cares if Zealot goes down here and gives Kid a bunch of stats? That's the way I'm looking at it. I really do not understand the Polulu Tower of Straws thing, right? Like, just look. I mean, Neil's obviously with the shield here in a really good spot. Yep, there's Zealot down, but look at that offense now. 735 attack power for Kid. Good luck. Yeah, like Polulu, I mean, Polulu, I guess, like, just from pure, like, health, survived longer than most of the teammates, but, like, did that increased presence help them at all? Not really. I guess the answer is, like, if you're going into Neil's, like, what are you supposed to do? I don't know. But that's game. That's game. 5 for 1, we take the 5 for 1. And Millennia, I think she understands. This is not about your KDA. We're not playing for stats. We're playing for W's. And that is a clean 3-0 in the quarterfinals. Which you do love to see. Look at all the, I mean, just Peter. What a game from Peter. Peter enabling so much for our team. Those taunts, absorbing all that damage. It's so critical in those 3v3s, right, for the Herald fights. Peter just did so much for us there. We saw how much messier it was when Peter was banned in game 2. What about stats and W? Well, look, I mean, I think everyone's stats worked out pretty well, right? Like, sure, Millennia is 3-1-7 instead of 3-0-7 like Alice. But if you're telling me that that means that Millennia had a substantially worse game than Alice, I don't know what to tell you, you know? I'm honestly surprised that Trixie got MVP, given didn't have a 100% kill participation like Kid did. But man, oh man, that worked out quite well. Good stuff, folks. We're gonna skip there. Here we go. Attack power on 70. No. Hit rate. No, we're not reducing harass. You gotta stop asking me. Game. I'm never going to reduce my harass rate, and you do have to live with that. Crit rate per kill over attack hit by card? Probably. Nah. Additionally gain. Okay, we're in top lane, so we're restoring health for sure. Nice Polulu buff. Zealot getting some extra stats. It's one of those things. You can put a counter and synergistic, I think, really well. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. Let's see here. I am going to say, I'm still figuring out how to block users through OBS. It always makes things complicated for me, so apologies that you heard a little bit of an echo there for a moment. But yeah, I liked Frank. I'm actually going to put him as a counter to, Frank. I think Frank is a counter to Wolfgang. I think that worked out really well for us. I feel very good about how that played out. Yeah, good stuff. Polulu, what the fuck was up with that build? I think if you're on Reddit right now, like in universe, I don't know what this game is called, but people are like, man, can you believe Polulu built fucking tower straws? Wild. What can I do for you, Bigfoot Shoes? Okay, why do you want to sponsor us? Shea Bomb, yeah, hell yeah. Look at Shea Bomb getting us some sponsors. Look at that. I mean, look, we knew Shay was nothing but bangers because of the VTuber art you're seeing in front of you here. But man, oh man, was this a great series. Both of those Kid games were great. The Frank game was great too. And I think the key, right? Our team does a lot better when I put to the side what I think a mid laner should be, right? There are so many times where I'm like, oh, let's play Lan, right? I like Lan. Lan has those crit rates, those big play moments, right? You know, we can have this assassin or this heavy damage dealer. And Shay's like, no, look, I am the best supportive mid laner that you're going to see. Remember Crown, when Crown won that world championship for Samsung, and all those Korean players were assholes, Korean fans, I should say, were assholes to him? Because like, oh, you just play Malzahar and your team wins. It's like, yeah, Shay does what it takes for our team to win, and that's what makes her fantastic. Her in this universe, him in real life. He is fantastic. But we're in our goth girls era, so that does make pronouns complicated. I'm recognizing the problem now in naming things after friends that are gender fluid. But you know what? That's fine with me. Look at the training points. Look at the fans. Damage stats clearly favor Siren's Call. It sure did. What about the opposing team 4 times? We sure did that. Average kill at engage. Oh, yeah. High efficiency. Domination. Just a really nice set of matches from us. Yeah, let's get our routine training up because I think we can get some better courses in here. I want to get a little bit more of a stat boost for our other players here. I think we deserve to get our support a little bit of love. We'll do a training partner this way. You can have creep score for a little bit because why not? And then, yeah, you're gonna be a training partner more than once, but that's okay. Trixie, you're our support. You're lifting the rest of the team up, and we do love you for it. And yeah, it is us versus Team Cloud. Oh my God, Galaxy sub. You were so close to making my life a lot easier. You forced a game 5. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. But here we are. The best team in the league. The best ranked team at this division. They beat us at the last week of the regular season. Granted, my draft was terrible. And I do take full responsibility for that. But man, oh man, do I want that to work out. We are underdogs. No one believes in us. But I choose to believe. Jedi reminder, Crown is that he stopped me from getting SKT Yasuo, which in hindsight was a positive for everyone who plays League, so they would not see the first 0-50-0 Yasuo power spike. Oh my God. I mean, what a mood, honestly. As much fun as that would have been to watch, I feel like your teammates probably happy with it, all things considered. Wow, the analysts believe. The analysts are like, man, Team Cloud sure was shaky last week. Siren's Call looked real good last week. I'm just saying. And then we look, it's like, oh yeah, their top lane is strictly better. Their mid lane is significantly better. Their bot lane is significantly better. Our jungle's even, and our hero pool is better. But, let's see. For every 15 rounds survived, you get a free warm-up. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That top laner's gonna scale. Oof. Let's see. Jungler. Dragon team fight and survives. That's fine. Dragon team fights happen very rarely, and if we're losing the Dragon team fight at turn 60, we have other problems. I'm totally fine with Wurzburg having that ability. Duckweed. When this deals damage, reduced by 1 for the round. Okay. So if they play cards, if they have a mid laner that plays damage cards, they can make the next fight cheaper. But I don't know how often that's happening. God, that bot lane. I don't love that. I don't love that. I don't love the cheaper cards. I don't like the 20 harass rate versus 41%. That's not good. I would go so far as to say that's bad. Danny? I don't know if you're able to watch this, Danny. I don't see you in the chat. I'm sure life is busy at the moment. But man, oh man, oh man. You've got your work cut out for you today. And then we have Trixie. Look at that, 9.6%. So before the 40th round, initiate cards increase by a round. Oh my God. Okay. So they, like, this is like, hey, fight early, fight often, and we'll make fights last longer for you. which luckily just makes them, in this case, last as long as they would have otherwise. But, oofa-doofa, not where we want to be. Do we have any other intermediate champions to train up? Not other than Mickey, which we're not going to play in this meta. So let's get the attributes going. I think Danny needs some love. I think Danny... Yeah, reflex and mechanics seems good. Farming also feels like it would be good. We'll go reflex and mechanics this time around. But man, oh man. Tails never fails, except when it does. And it has in the last game as well. Hey, maybe they'll give us blue side. They did not. Okay. Just to remind myself, right? Their team, just like any other team. Sure, their players are better than ours. And sure, they were the #1 team for a reason. And sure, I choked hard the last time I played them. We just went 3-0 in quarterfinals. We're a different team now. I believe in our goth girls. Let's make it happen. Yeah, we're not giving Lubos away on red side. Let's just make that happen easy. Let's see. I feel like getting rid of Fatty White can be good now that Haas is banned. I really don't like the idea of going into that blind. I also really don't like Bart. Bart did a lot to mess with us last time around. I'm actually very happy removing Bart from the table. I mean, Bart versus Fatty White I think is a real conversation, but in this case, let's just get that out of the way. They go Kamaitachi, which is great because it means we go Kid for sure. And then, ooh, I mean, I do like Niels a lot. I think Niels has been doing a lot of work for us right now. I like Niels, obviously. I don't like Kamaitachi into him in general, but I think we can draft ways of protecting him. Do I care more about drafting the protection first? No, because I think we have multiple ways of protecting him. I'm going Niels. I'm going Niels. I understand that in the Kamaitachi, the extra attacks can make it difficult, but we have an item right now that reduces presence substantially, and I think that helps a lot. They go for Justice. That's not surprising. They go for Penang Zhu. We get Peter. And Peter Niels bot lane is very, very good. What do we not want to go up against? I think now I will ban... Ooh. Like I could argue, I don't think Omaha is scary for us. I could argue Ada because the concussion grenade is really painful. I could argue, like, I don't think Wukong's actually scary to us because we don't have a ton of, like, debuffing. We just can't target it with the conviction, which is fine with me. Peter... we won the quarterfinals 3-0, Tentacle Coach. So we're at we won that series. We're now up against the best team in the league. This is Cloud Gaming, the #1 seed. They are better than us at every position. So this is where the true challenge begins. We have to win this series, or we don't get to move forward to the next division. I'm gonna get rid of Fatty White. I think Fatty White is the bigger danger here. I am very happy to go for Frank again. I think the Frank Kid combo went a really long way for us. They go Gang. They go Wolfgang. And I think we go Zealot. I think Zealot's really good here. I mean, it's not great into Gang. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not great into Gang. But Gang isn't going to be there for the Herald fights, right? Bot lane, it's just top, jungle, and support. And I think here, right, like with Kid, if Zealot dies, if they do everything they want on that regard, you're still in a really dangerous spot because Zealot buffs up Kid a whole bunch. Zealot Jungle is my fave, Bob's a cool word. Absolutely. Zealot Jungle's good. I didn't play it for a long time because I like Neil's comps, and it's like, oh, I want the other team to get it because then I'm hitting Zealot for triple damage. You kind of have to account for Neil's and Gang to a lesser extent, but definitely Neil's if you're going to play Zealot. But that said, you can have Zealot, and then you can draft it with Kid, and you have a real good time. Frank and Justice I'm a little bit worried about, but that's for future me to figure out. I will say, Danny, your Niels. Danny has popped off in our quarterfinal series. We won 3-0, and Niels was a huge part of that. You are now going up against the best player in the league. Happens to be at your position. So I'm a little scared, but I want you to know I believe in you. I would not put you through this if I did not believe. So that's where we're going with. I do think I like Stealth Dagger first and Vampire Fang second. I could go either way. Yeah, you know what? No. We're gonna do Stealth Dagger second. Because Vampire Fangs gives us the shield if we're going into that fight with a decent amount of health. And that extra attack is really good. Yep, all these other items look good. I go back and forth on Neil's itemization. I really like Stealth Dagger because not being able to get hit is great. But that ability to get a self-sustained shield for Neil's? Ooh, goodness. Okay. We do have a code engage here, which is great. I don't know. Like, I actually liked Zealot into Wolfgang last time because it turns out that Wolfgang can only drain the stats of whichever one of the 3 Zealots that it targets. So I'm actually pretty cool with that gank. I just would like to get a little bit more out of it if I could. Let's get this going. Conviction onto Wolfgang, get the extra damage coming through. And then, yeah, let's give this a shot. I don't think we're going to get a kill here because it's only 2 rounds, but I do think we're going to be able to do at least a decent amount of damage. Wolfgang should be wasting his time hitting one of the Zealots, which gives a free attack to Kid. You can see all of the nerfs from before the fight really came through. But we dealt more damage to him than he did to us, so still worth. And it allows us to get the surprise assault going. And this one's longer because it's the only fight card in our hand. And now all of the shield is gone and all of the debuffs are gone, which means we're attacking at full strength. Now, if we could not miss, I think that's the key to emerging from this fight with all of our goals achieved. We are going to force him out of lane. Now, did we spend a lot of energy to force him out of lane? Yes. Do I care? No. Because that top tower only has 14 health, and it's going to go down to at least 10 before Wolfgang can even get there. And the poke rate between these two, this top lane is relatively even for us. That's the lane we need to be building around, and I think we're in a good spot to do so. No, please don't have a fight card here. What would be the fight card? You don't... Oh, wow. You have an initiate on your support. Okay. Well, the good news is that Peter's going to absorb quite a few of these attacks. The bad news is that that's a gang. There's going to be some AoE knock-on damage. It's not a lot of AoE knock-on damage, but it is more than 0 AoE knock-on damage. Peter doing his best to hold up here. Yeah, that's going to be first blood for them. We almost survived. We only lost one. That is going to turn gold from being in our favor to against us here, which is a little bit of a shame. But, you know, given what it could have been, I've heard worse ideas. Could devour. Let's steal some jungle from Kamaitachi. That seems good. Plan B, drawing cards is good. Let's force Kamaitachi back if we can. That seems like it'd be nice. How much gold are we waiting for Niels to get where he needs to be? Not a lot. And Niels is back in base, so taking the damage doesn't even do anything to him, really. Or I thought he would heal because he was in base, but whatever. Okay. We got the piggy bank for Frank. Now this is one of those, I feel good about this fight, right? The kid is a little bit like lower on health, but Kamaitachi is also low on health. And Kamaitachi is the one who needs to attack Kid or take all of that bonus damage. We're going to have a lot of reasons to attack him at that 40%. Like, Wolfgang is the only concern that I have. And he's not even that much of a concern. Because he's only able to draw on one of our zealots at a time. That's Kamaitachi dead. Now, ideally, we would focus our damage onto Pinangju, but I don't think that's very likely, so I'm not going to lose sleep over that. It is one of those, this is where we're very lucky that Justice went mid lane, right? We don't have to worry about Kid getting nuked. That would be a real damage for this, real threat for this fight, and one that could potentially hurt us in a significant way. I don't like all these misses. Kid's going to be doing his best to get those bonus attacks in there. Pinangju is going to do a lot of damage. We got to accept that. It's part of this 100% farming efficiency. We're seeing Peter damage is down. The main Zealot damage is down. But we're still getting a lot in there. I think we get this. I think we get this in the long run. It's going to take a little while. There it is. 2 kills. We get Herald. That's going to give us a huge amount of pressure on the map. And that gives us 1,000 gold lead, which is massive in a game like this. Massive in a game like this. We're playing the best team in the league. Every bit of gold matters, and you're looking at our thresholds, right? Zealot very close to that first item. Kid getting close to that first item. Neil's very close to that first item. If we can get first tower on the board, we're going to be in a really nice spot. The question is where we think we can get it. I think we're going to be playing a little bit for scaling with our next turn, which is going to be a little boring. I acknowledge that it's a little boring, but we really want our Niels to be in a really great spot. And let's put some pressure there. If Frank can push in twice more, then we're in a good spot. We'll pass for now. But yeah, I mean, look, our goal is to make Justice as useless as possible, right? That's really, if we have minimized the amount of times that Justice can fight, we're in a good spot. And they don't have any natural fight cards. None of their 5 characters have a fight card outside of what their players have. We know their support has one. Their support's going for it again. But we've got more health this time. We've got a tower that scales. I'm much more optimistic for this fight than I was for the last one. God, if we could just keep hitting gang, it would be really funny. Tower? Tower? Gang? Yes! Gonna cackle like a madman at that one, because that is a dead gang. They had a 3v2 and lost a member. That's huge. That is huge for the tempo of this game. One more hit, Frank. One more hit on that tower. There it is. First blood tower. Good shit. Good stuff. Okay. Now, Fisticuffs is huge. They're going to all attack each other quite a bit. Obviously, that brings Frank down. That's okay. Not worried about that at all. Do we have anyone who's, like, really close to their item? We could get Peter there with this piggy bank. kind of feel like we're just going to let it scale a little bit. No reason to force it right now. Yeah, now it's 400 gold. Like, it's one of those things, like, do we give it to Niels because Niels getting that stealth dagger is by far the most important item we can get, though Isolated Penguin is also very good. Do we give it to Kid because getting the piggy bank means that he gets to start scaling up that next one? Peter has his item now, so there's no reason to go that direction. So I think we let it ride. I think we take a, damage for Frank. Let's keep scaling that max HP. Assimilation onto Wolfgang. I don't think this is exactly the situation that they thought they were in. Let's scale there. And let's see. I don't think I'm getting a kill from this because I think Wolfgang knows how to scale up, but I think we could do some damage. Especially if they attack anyone that isn't Kid. Definitely worth. Definitely worth. That forces him out of lane. Kid's going to get some lane pressure again. And they're going to have a turn. Like, what do they do here? Like, are they going to tower dive in mid? I don't think so. I don't think you tower dive, Frank. They can try if they want to. Haunting Coil to take out a minion? That doesn't scare me. At a 3,000 gold lead against the best team in the league. Okay. Okay. I think I figured out how some of this stuff works. I think it's all coming together. And we love this Herald fight. I'm honestly surprised they took it, given how the last one went. This is just a lot of people that really benefit our comp more than theirs. They're lucky that we targeted Wolfgang rather than Kamaitachi with the first Kid here. A lot of these extra attacks would be punished very hard, but I don't think it matters. Like, they're just not doing a lot. Like, sure, they've lowered Peter's attack, but who cares? Like, is that the thing that they're afraid of? I don't think so. Like, Kamaitachi's about to die organically. And at 40%, right? Equally likely to Wolfgang. Yep, that's Kamaitachi down. That's their damage dealer. Wolfgang's trying, but Wolfgang not doing a lot here. I think I need to make sure that Zealot is listed as a counter to Wolfgang, because this is really, really strong as a combo. Yeah, Wolfgang dead. GG. Easy. Look at that Zealot damage, too, by the way. That's... Danny, I see why you like Zealot, and I appreciate you forcing me to learn it. Herald, Inner Tower, great. Close out the game. It's a 5v3. Absolutely, we take a 5v3 to end the game? For sure. Because even if you kill us, right? Even if you get an execute on Justice, you're just making Kid stronger. It's unfortunate we're not a full build with Niels yet, so he's not getting the full advantage of the shielding to get the stun prevention up. But that's okay. Like, I don't think it really matters right now. Yep, Niels is going to get the kill here before Justice does anything. Yep, no execute in this fight. And that's over. That's GG. That is exactly what we needed to do. Yep. That's it. That's game. And we take a 1-0 lead over Cloud Gaming in the playoffs. 21% chance to win the series, by the way. Maybe the analysts are going to make some adjustments to their maths. Thanks to the incredible Kid performance we saw from top lane here. Alice popping off on that character. It's just, there's just so much that Kid is good against in these team fights, especially in these 3v3 Herald scenarios, right? With the meta that we're at, there's just so much that synergizes well here. Because even if we lose the fight, we're winning because of the amount of stats that Kid is going to get off of that. In this case, that wasn't necessary, right? We didn't need any... Zealot never died once. I don't think we had... I think maybe we had the early gank bot lane that caused a death. And that's why Danny's stats are a little bit lower. I think you've been robbed here, Danny. 2-1 and 2. I don't know. What were you supposed to do? You kind of did everything we asked of you. Your build was great. You did the damage we needed in the last team fight. The game didn't last long enough for Danny to pop off. But I mean, look at Trixie, right? That Peter, like Peter, definitely the unsung hero. Look at that damage absorbed, right? Holy crap. And look at this goal chart, right? We were behind for just a little bit. And then once we were in the lead, we never looked back. Never even for a second. Attack power per level. Probably okay to pass on. Armor max HP at 110 and 16. Yeah, I'll probably take that over this, just because the armor is probably useful. Max HP versus harass hit. I don't think so. Not for mid lane. Skip. We're getting a lot of these. Not nearly enough getting better cards for my liking, but yeah, I'm gonna put this as a counter to Wolfgang. That worked really well for us. Yeah, man, oh man. 1-0. What a time to be alive. Who of our players needs another stat boost? Danny, I'm willing to give it to you. Because I'd really like for this bot lane to be in a little bit of a better spot. I think reflex is where farming is actually where you're furthest behind. So let's give some more love there. Let's see what side they give me. Red side, yeah, that tracks. Yeah, I too would give us red side. And all the analysts are here for Team Cloud. They think that was a fluke. They trust Team Cloud to adapt. Let's see if that is true. They ban Haas. Yeah, I would too. We ban Lubos. Not letting that through on blue side. They take Peter out. That's smart. Get rid of Bart. I'm not here for it. They take first pick Baji. Okay. That's Niels. And that's Kid. That has been such a strong point for us. They take Zhangji Qi. They take Tivi. So we'll go Zealot. I like this core. A lot of different picks I think work really well with what we're doing. I like Dylan here. I like Charon here. I like Tiger Boy here. Tiger Boy with Niels is very strong. What do we want to get rid of? I don't want to see Fatty White. I don't love seeing Frank either, to be honest with you. I think Wukong could be annoying. If we want to go with Tiger Boy, we should get rid of Wukong. I think we do want to go Tiger Boy, so let's get rid of Wukong. Because they banned Charon. Yeah, we absolutely made the right call then. Because it was either going to be Charon or Tiger Boy. We went Tiger Boy. I'm okay with that. They take Justice. They go Hakuna, which means that we take... We're going to switch this top. We go Frank mid once again. And we're right back to our comfort zone. Right back in it. This is great. Okay. Let's see our builds. Yeah, that's correct for Zealot. This feels right for Frank. Yeah, I felt good about that for Niels. Kind of, yeah, like this for Tiger Boy too. I kind of feel like for Tiger Boy actually, let's do this first. then this, then the self-illuminating sphere. I feel that that's a little bit more of a strong point. And there we go. Okay, Zhang Ji going for some jungle clear, and then a gank onto Frank under tower. I don't know that I would recommend this for them, but they're welcome to try. Yeah, like, what did that do? I mean, I guess, like, it doesn't matter, right? Because Tivi's going to heal them up at the end. Like, who cares? But, like, also, who cares? Like, Frank's not bothered. He's not having a bad time. Fisticuffs. Seems good. Adrenaline. Let's see what we can do here, right? I don't think we're getting a kill off of this by any means, but I do think Kakuna is good into Zealot. That is something I'm a little bit worried about, but not that good into Zealot as I've found in recent history here. Yeah, the problem is Tivi just heals up so much. Like, yeah, healed for more than we dealt, so Tivi's gonna prevent our ganking strategy. That's fine. Hot hands, we scale! Scale for days. That's fine with me. Look at how easily we're winning that bot lane. We're already at 12 of 28 on that tower. That feels great. They had to back out a lane. Tivi's going to be very annoying for some of the team fights coming up. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know what Tivi is doing, like, in lane, certainly. Let's see. Can we make Justice annoyed? We sure can. I don't know that that's enough on its own. Smite? Like, we can try. She's at 900 health. This is a nice twofer with Zealot and Frank coming in. I just don't think they have enough damage. It's only a 2-round fight, so hot hands? And then who needs some gold? I think Niels needs some gold. Yeah, like, that's gonna go well for us in the long run. I just think when we're going into a Tivi, right, the goal is not to force fights. We don't need to take unnecessary fights. We are playing for the team fights, and we're playing for the Herald fights. And the idea is that we get enough map pressure from other things we're doing. Like, we just got first tower straight up. Just really well done from Danny here. And now we're in this fight, and this is great. Tivi's almost dead. Yeah, they had to back out. They couldn't even take the Herald fight. Huge for us. Huge tempo win for us. And now we get this. Okay, we got the adrenaline here. Luckily, we did proc anyway. Like, I don't think we need to take that tower down. I think we'll put tower pressure in the top lane. Devour. Let's steal some stuff here. Let's try to starve them out a little bit. Double trouble on a Niels seems like a good thing to do. And we'll scale. And now we have the ability to close out the game, right? Like, that's something we have in our arsenal. I don't think we'll be ready to do that for a little bit, but getting the AoE stun on the Niels, if Niels doesn't die here... Yo, okay, Niels is dead. That's first blood. Okay, that's okay. We had such a huge lead from map gold. That was always going to be the case. At some point, we were going to pay the price for that. I'm okay with that. I like that we have 2 piggy banks going right now. That gives us a lot of gold to play around with. You know, ideally, I would like Zhang Jiki to be in range for a fisticuffs. Doesn't look like we're quite there right now. And we also just rotated out fisticuffs, so that kind of prevents that from being a thing. I'm willing to just give Kid the resources he needs for that first item. Is there anyone else who's like right on the verge who would really benefit? I don't think so. I think we'll keep that second one going. I think we hot hands. I think we hot hands. I think we whimsical. I think we assimilation. And I think we call it there. I think the idea, right, is just we are putting them on the back foot. We have an 1,800 gold lead. Our items are on the right people, so we're hitting our thresh points. You look at what this fight's going to be, right? Like, we have item here, item here. Zhang Jiqi just got theirs. Tower of Straws for Tivi, not hopefully going to be there yet. Unless something changes drastically. I'm still not sure Tower of Straws is something I would want for Tivi, because I don't think you want to increase your healer's presence at all. I think you rather keep your healer safe as much as you can, but, you know, if that's the thing you're going to do, you can do it. I think Conviction onto Zhang Jiki is really nice. That's going to be a bunch of free damage onto her when this fight starts, which is great. Painful Pleasure. We're just going to keep getting that max HP bonus for Frank. Feeling very good about that. I don't think Frank needs this fight here, so let's rethink, see if we can get anything better. We sure can. Code Assimilation. Let's make her life not fun. And actually, yeah, let's do this 1v1. I really like this for us. She gets 1 attack, but we get 1, 2, 3. Missed? Kill. And that's why Zhang Jiki really doesn't like to play into Zealot. And that's going to be a free Herald. They can't fight this. Yeah, they're going to back off. And that's the second free Herald. We have not had to fight for a Herald yet. Which, in all honesty, it does mean our gold lead isn't as high as it could be. But I think I'm okay with that. I think the goal is just to make sure we win this next big fight. Which means we need to probably put the Conviction onto Justice. That we want to add a bunch of damage onto her to help neutralize the shield that she's built up. A Fisticuffs would be great if we could get someone else in her lane to stop on by. Doesn't look like that's happened yet. We're gonna take that down. That seems good. And that gives us a close out the game. Can we Tiger Boy multiple people at once? Because if so... Oh, we sure can. Oh, that's fun. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Who needs full health? Kid could use some full health. Might as well plan B in case. Let's do it. I think this 5v5 fight is very good for us, actually. And this is where it's like, okay, Tivi, congratulations, you have a 29% presence. Is that good for you? I guess it's good in that means that like your teammate doesn't have it, but look at that AoE stun we just delivered, and oh, by the way, Niels still has a huge amount of damage. And with the shield, not stunned. Yeah, I don't get it. Tivi's gonna die pretty soon in. We have a lot of stuns going around. This is a really tough play for them right now. I'd say I don't envy it, but it's entirely their fault. Tivy down, no more heals are in. The question is, do we have enough damage to kill everyone before it's too late? I think we do now. Yeah, we sure do. That is a 2-0. Look at that damage between Zealot and Niels. That's been such a huge part of our strategy. Man, oh man, oh man. That feels good. That feels damn good. Zealot MVP. How could it not be? I don't know how I got the special animation here. I know there are clearly multiple animations. We got the nice one on that one, and I don't know what the difference was, but I am glad to see it. Yeah, I mean, God, what a great series of ganks from her. You know, they're gonna say, kid, like, oh, Alice, you know, only an 8.1, because, you know, how many kills did she actually get? Well, yeah, because they didn't take a single fight because they couldn't, you know? Like, they avoided all of the Herald fights in which Alice would have gotten fed. Same with Tiger Boy, right? Tiger Boy is getting a whole bunch of assists. Like, it's not getting credit for the double trouble, which allowed us to get the multi-stuns there. Danny probably would have gotten it if she hadn't died early on in that game, but that death didn't really matter at the end of the day. And look at the damage here. Like, damage queen, absolutely our damage queen. Just, I mean, it is amazing how often we have been able to get Niels. Like, I understand the things they're banning, they are clearly recognizing, I think, a little bit more than they used to, what things are causing problems for them. But man, oh man, I don't know that it's enough. Like, Niels is just putting in so much work. And Danny, I mean, you look, this has been, Danny was the one player who I felt like sacrificed so much for the team in terms of leadership earlier that you were the one player who didn't get an All-Pro award at the end of the season. And I think this is a great example of the kind of game where it's like, no, this is actually really strong, right? Like, this is actually quite good for us because we have this ability to deal with a huge amount of damage. Like, you set up all of our teammates for success. I don't really care what score the game gave you. This game doesn't work out if you're not doing what you need to do. Oh, God, I really wish it was a better card than Initiate. I would take a fight card for Trixie, but not just a basic Initiate. We're at 2-0. Look at that. I will say, just as a heads up, because we're 2.5 hours in, I am going to end this stream at the end of this semifinals. I'm not going to do the finals tonight because I need to eat dinner. And dinner is a good thing to eat. I would be curious, those of you who are in chat, when you would like to see the finals for this series. I obviously want to stream it. But since it'll be a single series, we probably won't, we'll probably do just the finals and then setting up the team for the next division, maybe one regular season game. So if there's a time that is more convenient for people who are tuning in, obviously I'd love to make it convenient for those of you who have been tuning in regularly. I have a flexible schedule at the moment, let's say, so I'm happy to do so. I've been giving a lot of points to Danny so far this series, and again, Damage Queen, absolutely deserved. But in this case, I think Shaybom has also been putting in a lot of work, and I really like the idea of getting some points in for reflex and defense. I think this will be really nice to have. And they gave us blue side. I mean, to be fair, they gave us red side twice. It didn't really work for them. To be balanced, I don't know if this fixes their problem. The analysts are still expecting Team Cloud to come back. After all, how can the 1 seed lose 3-0 against a team that they lost so badly to in the past, or that they beat so badly at the end of the season. I get it, but this is the world we're in, and they need to start adapting to that sooner rather than later. They banned Peter. That's fair. I'm going to ban Bart. I think that's quite good for us. And I am going to first pick Niels. I think that Niels is the answer. I think Niels has done so much damage for us. I think it puts him in a really disadvantageous situation. They go Baji, Dylan. Okay. We go Kid. And we go... I think we're going to go Tiger Boy again, right? That lane did so much work for us. The double trouble, I think, really strong. I feel good about how this shook out. Wukong comes through, so the debuffs are going to be less powerful. That is a really strong answer to Tiger Boy. I'm not going to lie there. That is a really strong answer to Tiger Boy, and we do have to live with that. Unless Kid top, Tiger Boy mid gets around the Wukong problem in these early fights. That could be good for us. I actually really like that a lot. I'm going to ban Justice. I don't like playing into it. I don't feel like we need to. They take Hakuna. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do Kid top, Tiger Boy mid. For support, I think we go Fatty White. And I think we go... I think despite the Hakuna, I think we go Zealot. Because I think Zealot gives us a lot of opportunities in other parts of the fight. And Tiger Boy mid, like, it gives us the benefit of Tiger Boy without the clear issue of going into Wukong. We have to be very careful about who we're giving the double trouble to. Because Wukong is going to just reflect that back to our team. But, you know, maybe that's okay. I didn't actually do a thorough check of items there. I just kind of assume we've played all these champions up recently enough that everything should be in play. I don't actually love, though, that they gave Tiger Boy... Like, Tiger Boy mid... that was a mistake. That was a mistake. Tiger Boy should have had some better stats given over. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm going to get to go first here. Which means we're going to just... Hot hands, hot hands, hot hands. Assimilation. Force Dylan into a bad time. Big snowman onto Kid. Make that gank a lot less attractive. If they want to go for the onslaught with Hakuna, they can. Oh, they go for a 3v1 descent. Okay, that's a lot less good for us. Okay, good job attacking Kamitachi. Great choice, great choice. Good job attacking Hakuna. Another great choice. Yeah, Tiger was fine. Tiger was fine. Red powder on the Kamitachi. That's fair. And also not something I'm worried about. If Kid can target Kamitachi, we're going to have a great time. It's not as strong as if Kamitachi was in jungle, because then we'd be getting it more likely in those team fights. But that's okay. Because here's the thing. We've got a 2v1 in mid lane. Which means we hot hands. And we gank. I don't know that we get a kill here, but we sure can try. 100, 200. Okay. Good stun. Those misses are going to cost us. I don't think we get a kill as a result. Had one of our two misses not happened, Kamitachi is dead. That's okay. Can a rethink get us something that gets a kill? I don't think so. So we'll just get the double trouble on the Niels. That makes team fights really unattractive for them. I mean, technically it's not that unattractive because sure, we stun their team, but then Wukong makes sure that we stun our team. Fine. I don't think we have an answer for that. I think we just kind of have to deal with Wukong as it stands. We always knew that Wukong was a risk. Okay, that's a piggy bank locked in here. And I do think we go for this. The fact that we don't have Tiger Boy here means there's no negative with Wukong. Hakuna is going to make the lives of our Zealot a little bit harsher. But not that much harsher. Because we have Kid. And because Kid's going to punish anytime Hakuna attacks someone that isn't Kid. That is going to be painful for him. We have a lot of stacks on a Mini Snowman onto Kid here, which is very nice. They're missing some attacks, which is great. But the idea here is we're trying to take Hakuna. We're trying to take down Dylan. If this was the first game, I'd be a lot more worried about our top lane surviving here, but we don't care about that against this opponent. Team Cloud, they're going to get the warm-ups regardless, so I live with that as the world in which we live. Yep. Okay. These are extended fights, right? There's not a lot of burst damage on either side of this, but you'll see here, right? Like none of our heroes are below 1,000 health right now, and we're getting all of that Zealot damage. It is constantly coming through. And that just, I think, says a lot about the build path that we're in. Dylan can do his best to try to make our life harder. What a huge kill there. And then we get Dylan. And that's a 2 for nothing. That is the first kills of the game. And you'll see here, right, Hakuna got a piggy bank. But outside of piggy banks, no items have been secured yet. And that means there's still plenty of room for us to keep scaling, keep putting ourselves in a good position here. So summon Herald. Actually 8, okay. Yep, let's take down this bot lane. I think that's the right call. Do we have any way of killing Baji? That helps. Smite? Ah, we missed. Okay, that was worth trying though. Get that onto Kamitachi. Yeah, we're gonna have a few different fights here, I think. Actually, the next fight shouldn't have the increase of it. Shouldn't have the decrease in mana. We missed a lot of attacks there, unfortunately, but that's okay. We still dealt quite a bit of damage. Kamitachi is going to have to back. Oh my god, we missed again. Double trouble onto, let's say Zealot this time. We can't draw. So we pass. We accept that Baji gets away with his life, but they do lose bot tower. That is first tower of the game. I'm okay with that. Okay. Let's keep it going, y'all. If we get a 3-0 here against Cloud Gaming, I feel so confident. I mean, one, if we win the series, it doesn't matter whether we win the finals. We move on to the next division regardless. So that's a huge amount of pressure off. But two, if we can beat Cloud Gaming, we can beat whoever's coming off the other side of the bracket. I'm not worried about that at all at that point. Hail. Yeah. Bot lane. There we go. There we go. Pushed back. Do we have anyone here? Like, we have our first item for everybody. So I don't think that this piggy bank makes a difference for anyone. I do think at the end of the day, do I feel good about this 5v5? Kinda. Like, I'd rather the healing here from Niels, but we can guarantee that. So let's try it. We are going to get the full team stun. Wukong will reflect that stun a bit. Yep, Tiger Boy. That, I mean, we always knew that was going to be the case. Wukong is just really good into Tiger Boy, but that's fine. Because I still don't think they have a lot of answers. Yep, that's a team-wide stun. Okay. It shouldn't have been onto Niels, though, right? Because Niels has a shield? Yeah, there we go. Looked like he had the animation, but that was actually just the main zealot. Okay, got it. And Niels has the immunity now with the shield. And even without the stealth dagger, only a 6% chance to be attacked. That is going to be huge damage. Baji's down. Kamaitachi is down. Wukong, only 275 health left. That's dead. Dylan is low. Hakuna is low. Hakuna's dead. Dylan is gone. That's a clean 5-0. And the 1 seed of League One. The team that beat us in the last week of the season. The team that nobody thought we would be able to beat. We have 3-0'd. And look at Zealot now. Millennia popping off. I mean, just everything we needed that pick to do. This is definitely a meta in which you're going to have more opportunities for your jungle than you are going to your bot laner here. But I mean, I think everybody did their part. I think the fact that Tiger Boy did as well as he did going into a Wukong is honestly incredible. I'm really happy with how well Shaybom played that. You can see here, simply a bird, and tough words, but they're not wrong. That Wukong needed to do a lot more, and it did not do the job. Kamaitachi, the best player on their team, but one that was very easily neutralized. That's a 7-0 victory. Just a clean performance. One of the fastest wins we have had. Probably the fastest win we've had at this level of play. And look at us now. We have reached the final. We're going to move our way through. Yeah, I'll do that. That seems fair. Attack power, max HP versus hit. Sure, that's fine. Shaybom, I think, engages with that enough. No, that can be skipped. No, we don't need to worry about that. Alice leveling up the kid. Great to see. For mid lane, yeah, we'll give additional attack power to Niels. Or to Tiger Boy, I should say. Niels continuing the scale. Thank you, Danny. It's a really based effort on that part. Not going to deal anything here. Flank protection, I don't think is... Yeah, we did it. Millennia getting the MVP. That's 3 Zealot games. That's 3 Zealot victories. Huge boost here. Resource teamfights have always been a strong suit. Team Cloud failing to do their homework. I can't agree more. Team, no questions. Trixie? What's up? Oh, she's feeling nervous. Everyone's nervous. No problems. It's okay. Nervous for first finals is normal. We play the way we usually do. We go great. But what if we don't perform well? Let's comfort them. We're a nice coach here. We take care of our goth girls. Everything you've accumulated got you here. I've seen all your efforts. I know what you're capable of. That's been the theme of this stream for a long time now. Sweat never lies. The promotion's there. And there we are. Let's just get all the way until we hit the next save. I'm gonna wait till we see saving here. When a game for 60 rounds one time, yeah, we can do that. Oh yeah, we had some nice crits there in the training. But yeah, wow, look at us, Cyberdog. They are the favorites. They are the 2 seed. Nice win over Hot Pot Gaming for them. But I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of this team. 4-1. The casters do not believe. But look at that. Our bot lane's equal. Our jungle's equal. Our mid lane's better. They do have the best top laner in the league, so we'll have to deal with that. F99. Very strong, and that inner turret's going to be a problem. Let's start discard all cards. Yeah, okay. So things are discarded, but it's time to, you know, that's... They get cheaper. That's okay. Yep. Oh boy. I don't like that. Duration of initiate cards. Okay, so once time, they get to work around the rules of the game as they currently stand. What do we want to do? I want to give top lane a little bit of love. Alice could really use it here. I think a defensive boost and a mechanics boost probably for the best. Or I did reflex and mechanics. That's fine. Tails never fails. We're blue side. And there we go. This is where we will pick up next stream. I know it feels anticlimactic to end before the finals, but at the end of the day, it turns out I do need to eat food. It turns out food is good, and it is a good thing to acquire for oneself, which means the stream does have to end here tonight. But we will do this sooner rather than later. I think let's aim for Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. I know that's a little bit later for a stream, but it seems like from the people who showed up and the timing in which we saw our peak, a later stream probably for the best. So we're going to say that again, 7 p.m. Pacific time. We take on the league finals. We are going to take on Cyberdog. We are going to win the League 2 playoffs. We are going to promote. We're going to keep all of our goth girls. We're going to hire some new players to make those goth girls better. And we are going to prove ourselves when it matters most. I appreciate everyone who stopped by today. Hopefully you had a fun time. Apologies again that Game 1 did not have any volume from me, but hopefully, I don't know, maybe you had an ASMR experience, just enjoying the game's music. Hopefully that was fun on its own right. But thank you so much for stopping by regardless. You can find me at Chase Wassenar on bsky.social or on Twitter if you must. Obviously, the RD here is Rough Drafts, which is the podcast that Walter and I do every Monday. We have new episodes come out. We just did a great episode on The Fall Guy with Danny for our Final Cut podcast that came out this past Monday. And next Monday, Danny's going to be on the show again as we talk about Esports Godfather. So if you want to hear even more thoughts about this game and why I love it as much as I do, that podcast will be a fun time for you. So definitely check out Rough Drafts podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. Final Cut, Steam Cleaners, both a great time. Thank you all again so much for being here. And until next time, goodbye, Internet.